open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan, Tim.
Of the things that I have to do for my job, one of them is maintain and handle and apply for benefits for my clients. This is medical benefits, state benefits for financial aid, and one particular thing I have to deal with is Social Security benefits.
That shit must be really annoying and confusing.
It is, because you think you know what you know, and the next thing you're like, this has changed. Oh, that's different in this county. Oh, yeah, you need to fill out this form instead. It gets maddening at points because most times you fax in an application for something, like medical assistance, like a renewal for someone that's already on MA. Mm-hmm. The renewal fax will go into a Dropbox. It will mark the date that it comes in. No one will look at it for 2 to 3 weeks.
Fuck! That's government.
Right. And then they'll send a letter saying your health care is about to be shut off because they didn't get the renewal. Now, the first few times this happened, I panicked and called and waited on hold, only for them to say, oh yeah, we have it here. No one's just entered it yet.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's a common occurrence with both Ramsey and Hennepin County. So you send it in via fax or mail. They get it. It sits for weeks. They enter it in the process of waiting. You get the letter. They're going to shut off your medical assistance. A day or two later, they fucking see they have the packet. They enter the information. Everything gets renewed. They send you another letter that says, please ignore the first letter. Your benefits will continue as expected.
You got to be kidding me.
Very wasteful.
Mm-hmm. But what else does government do? I mean, nothing.
Well, the sheer number of people that are on the government teat for health care, now mind you, think about that. The size of Ramsey and Hennepin County.
Ramsey County is actually small. But it's got a lot of people in it.
Right. The volume of consumers that they serve is mind-boggling. So think about the amount of postage that they piss away on that shit.
Yeah. All the shit that I get in the county that I live in is a bunch of fucking junk mail, stuff that doesn't apply to me.
Yeah.
Quit sending me this shit.
But
the Star Tribune still sends me newspapers. I never once paid for a subscription.
Really?
Every weekend.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they call me at home. Like, would you like to? It's like, nope, I don't support liberal media. Click.
Ah, fuckers.
That's okay, because if conservative media called me, nope, I'm not buying it. Click.
But back to what I was saying about the Social Security Administration and dealing with those benefits. Have you ever been down to the SSA office for anything?
No, I haven't needed to utilize any programs like that. I did unemployment twice.
Yeah, that's different. You go to like a county sponsored.
You don't even got to do that now. You just do it online.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me explain it to you. I believe it's one of the rings of hell.
Could be.
Not one of the popular ones as explained by Dante, but one of the lesser known rings of hell. I have gone to offices in multiple counties, and you go in, and there's a big room. There's tons of metal benches. They're back to back, some of them. And many of the people there speak very loose English.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Now, there are a row of windows of people waiting to serve you on one side, and then there's a guard who's sitting there. He's, I'm air quoting this, maintaining order, which in reality is, at the St. Paul one, if it's the young guard, he's watching cameras and answering questions. He's not as worn down as the other guard, who sits there and gets really fucking pissy and eats chips all the time. He's not a fat fuck like you would think from all those carbohydrates and sodium intake, but he's just like an older guy that clearly he has emotionally checked out.
Bafflation.
I half expect him at some point to shout something at somebody, the equivalent to belt. If you remember that guy.
Belt, no.
The old sheriff's deputy that was working court security that time I went in there, and he saw I hadn't taken my belt off before I go to the metal detector.
Oh, God. You expect me to remember that?
Well, he stands out pretty clear in my mind. Instead of saying,
Yours.
sir, you still got your belt. He just goes, belt! This guy, equivalent would be he stops pumping salt and vinegar flavored Lay's potato chips into his gullet just long enough to go, can't talk on your phone that loud.
I just want to back it up a little. Did I tell you about when I went to court? My dad went to court with me for my divorce.
No.
And he wanted to go through the security checkpoint, but he had a pocket knife. And he showed it to him. He was like, well, I have a pocket knife. And he goes, well, either you put that back in your vehicle, sir, or you give it to me and I throw it in the garbage. And it's like, you're not throwing it in the garbage. Like, well, you have to put it back. You're like, my dad was actually kind of mad and thought that he should be allowed to carry that pocket knife into the courthouse. I was like, Dad, they don't want people going to court for something, getting emotional, and then trying to stab somebody.
Stabby, yeah.
You know?
Shank.
Like, I made sure to leave my knife in my vehicle, you know?
Yeah.
But that's just that short little blurb.
So when you get there, also, there's a machine that you automated options, and it gives you a ticket. That ticket has a combination of 1 letter and 3 numbers.
They have that at the DMV, which I'm so pissed at the DMV. Anyway, go ahead.
This one is a little bit more streamlined than the one at the DMV.
Really?
Yeah.
You think?
It is. Aside from the fact that you don't have a counter full of people that none of them seem to be handling specifically one type of ticket at the DMV.
No, they handle random ones. But
Right. So this one, they break it down by letter of what you're there for. Applying for benefits or benefit questions. If you need a new card, they tell you, go to another office. We don't do that here. Everyone gets the ticket. Everybody sits down. Everybody watches the screen when it flashes the numbers. Overhead page announcements call out the ticket numbers.
Now serving R36. R36.
Yeah, something like that.
Apparently you want a marriage license.
The worst part is you have that ticket and you have plenty of time to wait. And you've memorized that number, right? So every time they call it, like, oh, am I getting closer? And you look at it every fucking time. No matter how far away from your number, you have to look. Because here's what they do. They call your number, and then sometimes you go back to the hallway where they have the helpful people. Other times, they'll appoint you somebody in the first row in the lobby that on the left that I talked about, and you sit down and you tell them why you're there, and they go, okay, we'll let somebody know why you're here. I'm like, I waited 25 fucking minutes for you to triage me in 10 seconds and tell me I have to wait to talk to somebody else? What is the point of you? Why are you here?
To frustrate you.
But sure as shit, every time the number gets called, and here's where that lack of English proficiency comes in, these people will go up to the guard. And he's like, no, that's not your number yet. They haven't called it yet. You'll have to sit down again. Just time after fucking time. That guy has a gun on his hip. And if that was me, I would probably spend at least 35 to 40% of the time contemplating whether I need to take that out of the holster and press it up against my temple and scream at people to leave me alone, or just fucking man up and pull the trigger, because that seems like a miserable goddamn job.
Possibly. My experience at the DMV on Friday wasn't super great.
Go on.
I stood there for 40 minutes and never got called. So I get there. I'm thinking, I took all of Friday off to work, okay?
Uh-huh.
I had a limited amount of time because I was supposed to go with the wife and drama to do some errands and stuff. And I was like, I had to be home by 10:30 a.m. So I get up early, shower, everything like that. Go to the DMV. I get to the DMV at 9:30. I'm like, I should be in and out, no problem. They opened up at 8:30. Mm-hmm. So the morning rush that's trying to get in there right away when the doors open should be gone. Lunch rush ain't here yet. Should be nice and easy. I get there. There must have been 40 fucking people there.
Everybody thinks what you think.
I guess so. So I need to change my tactics. So I go in there, I'm like, shit, well, I got a little bit of time, so I took a ticket. I got T006. I remember. I had to remember how many zeros were. And I go out and I'm standing in the hallway where I can still see the TV monitor so I can keep an eye on the numbers. And I struck up a conversation with this not too bad looking girl, married, but, we were having a fun conversation and everything. And some time goes by, I'm looking, it's been like 20 minutes, and I'm like, okay, this sucks. And suddenly her number gets called, and she kind of gives me a smile. She's like, well, I'm going in. And she goes in, and I'm like, okay, well, she was here shortly before me, but she had a different letter, I think hers was an R or some shit. So it gets to be, I've been there for now 35 minutes.
Jesus.
And people that got there after me and got a number are getting called in. I'm starting to get a little, what the fuck here? So I go inside there, And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and, more people that were there before me, but a couple people that were there after me go up in line. I'm looking at the clock going, fuck, it's 10 after 10. I gotta get going. If they can't call me within the next minute, I gotta go, and I really need to register this trailer and four-wheeler that I bought over a year ago. I got a little behind. But they don't know when I actually bought it. They think I bought it in December, or they're gonna think that. So I'm only a couple months behind.
First world problems.
And still they didn't call my number, and they didn't call anybody with the letter T. It was all D, R, and what was the other one? X. And I'm like, fuck. So I was like, I crippled my ticket up and I made a show of it. And I threw it in the garbage can. I was like, well, I guess they don't want my money. And I walked out, and I heard a dude kind of chuckling to himself after I said that. And I was like, oh, I got to go back another day. But
yeah,
fuck,
they
take
still
a day
won
off?
that round. They won that round.
They won that round. I waited. I waited 40 minutes. I had to go. I wish I didn't have to go, because they probably called my number as soon as I got to my truck.
Probably. Back to the SSA. So like I said,
Back in the SSA.
Yeah, you're sitting there and you're just waiting. Maybe you've gotten triage at the person that said, no, someone else will talk to you, and there's no determined amount of time.
I like how you're calling it a triage.
That's basically what they're doing. They're like, oh, okay, you're here for this. Cool, fuck off.
Go wait longer.
Yeah, and then you sit there and you're rocking, you're losing your mind. Maybe you strike up a conversation with somebody. But the shit that goes on there, fucking people bringing kids.
Are you doing this while you're getting paid? While you're on the clock? Okay, so I don't know what you're bitching about.
Because I have to deal with all this other shit in the background.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. People bring their fucking kids. And the
That's
kids
horrible.
will have cars or toys, and they're fucking playing on the floor, or they're gaming too loudly on a device. They're fucking asking a million questions. Kids, that is not the place for them.
The DMV? No.
Not the DMV, not the SSA. No government building should have children in it if it involves waiting. Because having that child there, sure, if they're giggling, it's funny. But as soon as shit goes south and they're not getting their way, oh my fucking God, it is a miserable experience. I know what it's like to have my kids go somewhere with me and not shut the fuck up for the first 30 seconds to 10 minutes while I'm trying to accomplish anything, to now when I go to the post office, I go, I'll be back in a few minutes. And I leave them in the car, and then I go into the lobby and I do the automated postal center, and then I can see them through the window. Because if I bring them in there, they're talking, I'm fucking stuff up, I might transfix a number in a zip code and send something to the wrong goddamn place.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Who do you think gets pissed off faster, when your kids start acting up? You or the other people?
Oh, me.
See, I feel the same way. I feel like my tolerance for my kids doing bullshit when we're out in public is like nothing. Which is why I usually don't bring my kids with me to errands anymore.
It would be nice if we lived in a society where people wouldn't look at you if you grab them by the arm and tell them to shut the fuck up in a really stern tone and explain, these people are here to do business. Nobody cares that you're bored right now. So just wait it out, because I had to do this shit when I was a kid, and now it's your turn.
I've done that with Turtle. I grabbed her by the arm and fucking dragged her with me when we go to the store, and she's not listening.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't hesitate. I don't scream and yell at her. I get up and it's just like, the dude's right in her ear. It's like, you better shut the fuck up and you better start listening or you're going to get spanked. And she's like, okay.
I often wonder if people think that looks crazier than if you just go, shut the fuck up. Or you just go, I swear to God, if you don't knock it off right goddamn now, I will take you over my knee in front of all these people and I will tan your ass.
I like to think that they think I'm being considerate and not yelling so that they had to hear me.
Whereas I think at least they know what I said and they don't wonder in today's world of finger pointing and you're guilty until proven innocent. I hope he didn't just threaten to harm that child with violence or something.
You
I hope that
know
child's
for sure?
not abused. Yeah, people know that I'm an asshole and that I'm keeping my kids in check, and then you usually get these looks like, yeah, fucking A, man.
Yeah.
I've never had somebody be like, that's inappropriate. Because if somebody were to say that shit to me, I would go, mind your motherfucking P's and Q's. I have no beef with you. I'm handling my own child. You parent yours the way that you want to. I'll handle mine. And someday when yours becomes a victim of some hilariously stupid crime because they were never taught to stand up for themselves or to fucking follow the rules, I'll be sitting there with my kid going, yeah, you had some bumps in the road, but yeah, you're not pulling somebody's semen out of your ass into a rape kit now, are you?
Wow.
Or looking for your car keys in a ditch. It could go either
Took
way.
a turn.
Two extremes, Worse than the fucking kids are the people.
That don't wear deodorant?
No, I don't give a shit about that.
I do.
The people that come in and are either talking too goddamn loud.
Like on their phone or some shit?
Well, with each other, but worse off, yes, the loud phone talkers. For instance, last time I was there, some lady comes in. She's not even talking on the phone. She's fucking FaceTiming some other jackwagon that's down in the lobby, and she's trying to navigate them through the fucking building where the SSA is.
Are you kidding me?
No, and everybody in the room can hear.
Why would you FaceTime that?
Because they're an inconsiderate cunt and they don't care about everybody else.
Look at me!
And if I say something, I'm worried the guard's going to tell me to shut the fuck up.
Very
When
well
really
could.
I'm doing his job like, hey, Ringo, could you put the fucking chips down and stop writing your suicide note in your head long enough to tell this bitch to shut up? The sign right there fucking says, loud phone conversations, you might be asked to leave or step out in the hallway.
Is there really a sign that says that?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
But he doesn't enforce it anymore because his spirit died years ago.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, he's a well-worn rock on the shore of the river. He no longer gives a shit. One time I went there was a guy in a wheelchair. The wheelchair, insignificant detail, but I'd like to think that they gave him a job and he was differently abled. Maybe he was a token hire federally for some box on a questionnaire for diversity. I don't know, but I was impressed that somebody in a wheelchair was working at a government agency like that. And that they put him in the lobby, parked him next to the machine. He didn't just stand there. He fucking talked you through every step of getting your ticket, and then he explained what you should expect while you're waiting. And I went, holy shit, what a worthwhile usage of government dollars. A fucking person that gives you customer service and takes a little bit of the heat off of sitting here for so goddamn long.
Yeah, especially if he's personable. You know, the car wash I go to has somebody now. You used to pull up and put your card in the machine and do your own thing. Mm-hmm. They have somebody standing there now, takes your card, puts it in the machine for you. It's like, which car wash would you like? And you can watch them push it in and everything like that. It's like, sweet. And then they give you your card back with a receipt if you want a receipt. And that's kind of nice.
Well, that's good. Is there a counter between the two of you when they're doing this for you?
No, they're just standing out there.
Oh. Well, that's better than what I thought, where they take your card and they go to put it in the machine and then they put a piece of loose leaf paper over it with a pencil and fucking quick shade over it to get your number to steal your identity.
Nope, they didn't have any pencil and paper.
Well, you would be surprised how many felons and drug abusers work at car washes because they don't check backgrounds.
Yeah, well.
Word to the wise.
Yeah, at first I was just like, who the fuck is this? And then I saw they were wearing a shirt for the car wash. I was like, looks legit to me. Here's my card.
That's how they get you. Next thing you know, you're in the trunk of a car with an apple in your mouth and a hot dog in your butthole, and you don't even know how you got hogtied. You're just going into a hole in the ground.
Holy shit!
Okay, I was just going to say, the only weird purchase on my card are from my wife's card.
Oh.
But, all right.
Well, you're getting a different kind of hot dog in your butt there. It's more of a metaphorical one.
Way
than a
less
physical
pleasurable.
One.
Ah, gay!
And so you get the loud cell phone talkers. The bitch drove me nuts. And I really wanted to be like, ma'am, go downstairs. Go find your friend, walk them the fuck back up here, or go out in the hallway and tell them how to get up here. But I don't need to listen to this shit, and neither does anybody else. Most of us have been here at least 45 minutes, and I think there's maybe 2 people in this room right now, and I'm not going to spoil a surprise, that are probably thinking they want to murder you just on the fact that you have no social tact.
You know what? I just had a thought as you were talking about that. I wonder if I actually missed my number being called because I put my Bluetooth earbud in and walked to the other end of the hall to make a call to make sure that I had insurance on the 4-wheeler before I went and tried to put tabs on it. They might have called my number while I was in there. Maybe that's why, because that chick I was struck up a conversation with, she actually gave me several smiles, and one while she was walking out the door, like, he doesn't realize he missed his number.
That could be. You could be a dope that missed it, but they usually call it 3-4 fucking times just to make sure.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I've never been that busy, but she could have thought it was cute too. But I mean, I was wearing my ring, she was wearing her ring. Nothing's gonna happen.
That don't mean shit. They cancel each other out.
It's not cheating if it's another married person.
Sure, we'll go with that. That's the logic involved in some people when you got.
Just need to make sure we're in separate area codes from our spouses too, I guess.
There you go, and make sure that it's your dog. There was another time I was sitting down there, and
how often do you go there?
It doesn't have a
like
regular
a couple
schedule.
Times a week, or
no? I might go once every 3 months. I might go 4 times in a 2-month span. It just varies on when I need to go down.
But it's not like you got to be there like every week or you're there every other day or something.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I could see that really getting old really fucking quick.
And there was this young set of kids. I'm going to put them in about 21 to 24 range.
Funny how we're calling them kids.
Yeah, and with an older woman who I assumed was one of their mothers.
Hopefully.
And we're sitting there, and repeatedly over the span of a half an hour, she keeps saying she has to go to the bathroom. It's simple. Out the door of the waiting room, down the hall to the left, there's 2 bathrooms. There's not going to be any soap or paper towels in one or the other. It's never both. But yes, so she kept saying she had to go to the bathroom, and finally a woman behind them, so I'm sitting in one row, they're behind me, another woman behind them, speaks up and says, does she really have to go to the bathroom? Don't you think you should take her? She's been saying it for a while.
Was she incapacitated? She couldn't walk herself?
I don't know. You couldn't tell from looking at her, but it's a guy and a girl. The girl turns and goes, why don't you mind your own business? We've got it handled. Don't fucking worry about it.
Ah, you bitch.
And the lady's like, I'm not trying to be rude. And the guy's like, just mind your own business. And she's like, I'm sorry. And then the girl snaps, and I forget what she said back. She said one more bitchy thing.
I'm a cunt.
No, I wish. That would have been very direct, and that's what she should have said.
That's what she should have said, yes.
But it ended with, and she's got dementia.
So, doesn't that mean people with dementia don't know when they gotta go take a shit?
Well, here's the thing. I turn around, and I'm like, I'm not trying to start any shit here. But I just think that the woman behind you was concerned. Not that she's judging you, not that she's trying to get in your business, but I also have noticed how many times she's mentioned having to go to the bathroom. And now that you say dementia, I get it. And the girl's like, yeah, she's got dementia, so she doesn't know. And I turn around and I flash my badge and go, hi, I'm a social worker. I have a half a dozen people on my caseload with dementia. I know very much what the signs, symptoms, and issues are with those people. So don't think you're educating anybody, sweetheart. I'm just trying to, temper things down a bit. Thanks. I gave her a thumbs up, like a dick. And then I look at the guy, I'm like, bro, whether she does or doesn't have to go, I think anybody that's reasonable would hear this conversation that she's having and think that you're ignoring her. So if you want to say she has dementia, she might not have to go. If you would have said it like that, it would have gone over a hell of a lot more than what she and you both put at that lady, which was far too antagonistic. You don't need to start that shit here. See the guy up there eating chips? He will kick your ass out of here. He doesn't care about you. So take it down a notch.
Did you really say all this?
Yes, I
God,
fucking
you're a
did.
Fucking hero.
I fucking don't care. Even if he would have flipped out on me, I would have said, would you like to step into the elevator right now with me? Or maybe you and I can go to the bathroom. There's no cameras in there. Let's see how well you fare when I drown you in a toilet full of piss water. You dick.
Hadouken!
So then he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. Let's just, for future reference, relax. People come down here. It's not fun. But I understand where you're coming from. And it looks like you're taking care of her. So good on you. So I ended it on a positive and really thought they're probably stealing this fucking woman's check because these people look like a couple of meth heads.
Her children are meth heads and they're taking all her money.
Probably, yes. Yeah. It happens far more often than you would realize.
Actually.
It's ridiculous. So then you get to the point where they finally call your fucking number.
Yeah.
And that's just getting to like the second level of the game. Because you go back into the hallway with the different windows and you sit with somebody and I have to flash my badge. I have to show paperwork, why I could be there, why I know what I'm talking about, what I'm trying to do. And sometimes I get this one lady who's really super helpful and she'll let me do multiple clients' business while I'm down there. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Now, most people probably wouldn't think of doing this, but if I have to facilitate the flow of information with a phone call, rather than try to have to come back and set up an appointment or something, I'm like, hang on. Beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop. I call them on my work phone. I'm like, hey, I'm down at the SSA, and I'm just going to have you talk to the lady, okay? And they're behind glass, bulletproof, I assume, with a tiny little slot, like a deposit window at the bank.
Yeah, I hate those. They're so small.
So I just reach my hand underneath there with the phone and go, here you go. Most people wouldn't think of doing that shit. I'm not really worried that like a bar is going to come down and fucking guillotine my hand off for doing it or a buzzer's going to go off. They're on camera too. And I have on multiple occasions thanked people for all their help and then reach my hand underneath to shake their hand and go, thank you very much. Which is awkward when you're under the tray and like, thank you very much. They look at you like, oh, okay, cool.
See, now the one at the sheriff's office where I renewed my permit to carry
would not do that.
Way smaller.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it if you wanted to. I could barely get my freaking ID and everything in there.
Isn't that fucking ridiculous?
Yeah, you know, they all got guns. They shouldn't be afraid. Open that window up.
There should be a two-way drop tray that you pull out, put your shit inside, they slide it out the other side and can get it from you. Fuck the slot.
That would feel way less personal.
That's, you know
I
what?
feel way more like I'm actually in jail.
It's all about functionality. It has nothing to do with your feelings.
That's just... I had to pay the full price, too, because my permit expired.
First world problems.
So then, as you're at the window, you're doing your business, right? And 9 times out of 10, I get there and I get done when I needed to. So there's this just wave of relief that makes all that other shit not matter. But the 1 time out of 10 that you don't get done what you need to do, oh, does it make all that other waiting room bullshit fucking feel like a punishment rather than just par for the course. The loud cell phone talkers, the kid playing Hot Wheels cars, the having to look at the stupid picture of Mike Pence and Donald Trump on the fucking wall while I'm sitting there thinking you guys are dicks and you hate gays.
Pence?
Right. If you haven't thought to, the new Mark Maron stand-up special on Netflix, there's a bit he does on Pence and his homophobic beliefs. You will laugh your ass off.
He's a Republican, so there's going to be some homophobia, probably. My dad's a Democrat, and he's a homophobic, so, I mean...
That's weird.
Well, just because you're a Democrat doesn't mean you like homos.
Well, considering he was in Nam, right?
He was in Nam, yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he saw a few guys with their dicks chopped off, stuck in their mouth, left to die.
Well, he was on a ship.
Okay, well, the thought of another guy cornholing another guy and not asking him to join shouldn't bother him too much because, once again, they're not asking him to join.
No, it's just, he just doesn't like them, I don't think.
Okay, well, nobody wants to get fucking goo punch all over their dick and have to use one of your dad's Betty Boop t-shirts to wipe it off. So now, I go down there and I do business for other people. Yeah. I've never had to go down there for myself. So I want you to picture when my old man retired a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He said he had to go down there 3 days in a row.
For what?
I don't know. I kept asking him, like, what the fuck are you talking about? How are you not done? He's like, we were there for like 3.5 or 4 hours the other day. I'm like, and you didn't get everything fucking figured out? You're retiring. Jesus Christ.
Well, when you're retiring, don't you sign that paperwork and everything while you're at work? Like, somebody comes and, like, hi, I am the company lawyer, or the, wherever your dad worked. I know where he worked, but...
HR, they have benefit coordinators and all that shit.
Yeah,
My
that
dad
should have all
spent
been done at work.
A mind-numbing amount of... But you actually have to go down there then and apply for your retirement benefits.
You know,
HR doesn't do that
don't
shit.
They?
No, you have your pension from your job.
Yeah, but you can do that online.
No.
I think we can where I work.
Maybe, but I wouldn't advise it.
Why?
You hit one roadblock and you got a question, what are you going to do? You're going to have to call the fucking place and sit on hold for 35 minutes. You might as well just fucking go down there.
Yeah, because that sounds way more convenient.
It totally... No, trust me, it is. As badly as I've described it.
Okay.
And maybe I haven't put it in the greatest of hells, but it smells funny because of all the different nationalities and the cooking in their apartments that sticks in their coats. God. The people talking like, no, you in the one lobby, you got to go to the other lobby, and then you got to go up in the elevator and get off on the 6th floor, and then you go around the corner, and then you go around another corner, you see me.
If you see Reggie, tell him, yo, what up, dude?
Very Asian-y down there, I don't know why. Whenever I see an old white couple, they seem like they're holding on to each other for dear life because they're scared and haven't been surrounded by this many minorities ever before, which is sad because that's society now. Get over it, America, melting pot, hello. But my dad must have the patience of a fucking saint to deal with that shit. Well, that's a whole different story with my mom.
And you weren't exactly easy with him either.
I didn't burn a house down like some people did. To sit down there for that many hours and not get accomplished what you need to and go, well, I gotta go back. And I'm pretty sure he brought my mom with him. Fuck that.
Oh yeah, all her constant muttering about races.
I would rather be hung from my ball sack from a tree with razor wire than have to spend any more than 5 minutes with my mother in any office because, holy shit, she can't control her closet racism, nor can she maintain a decent volume to keep people from overhearing all of her idiotic suburban xenophobia.
Well, especially if she starts getting angry, and then she starts spouting off and making snide comments loud enough for everybody to hear. I mean, if I have a snide comment, I usually just say it internally, but not your mom.
No, she doesn't have that filter. And then she wonders why people like get all fucking cross at her. And then she freezes up because she's that dog that barks like it's got a bite, but then when another dog barks louder and lunges at her, she's like, oh my God, I didn't realize we were doing this for real.
Yo, dude, I was just checking.
Like a fucking game of bitchy chicken. So if you ever have to go down there, go alone. Go on a Wednesday. Don't go on the first of the month. Don't go, just don't go the first 5 days of the month. The checks usually come out on the 3rd.
First 5 days or the last 5 days, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Middle of the week's good. Get there right about the time they open.
If you get a Social Security check in the mail, you got to go there to cash it?
No.
Oh.
No, you go to a bank and then yeah.
Well, I've never done it before. So,
yeah.
I mean, you made it sound like you had to go there.
Well, they set it up. You can get auto deposit anyway with your bank, so.
Okay, good. Because you're saying, the checks get deposited within the first 5 days or whatever, so it sounded like you had to go down there to do it.
But social work, it's not all fun and games. Sometimes you got to go down to government offices and listen to some bitch try to sweet talk her boyfriend how to navigate a lobby of a building that has a lot of signs that say Social Security Administration office on the 6th floor, and then that sign is on an easel pointing an arrow towards a bank of about 9 fucking elevators.
But which elevator do you take?
Yeah. If it was any fucking more to the point, it would have a line on the floor of red footsteps for you to walk on like a child at Legoland or something. But some people just can't fucking figure it out. But the people watching, that makes it worth it. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It? Podcast show for the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan, Tim.
And that's the end.